Hi, Jake. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you, Lisa?
I'm great, thanks. Today we're going to talk about something everyone experiences, our daily routine.
Oh, that's interesting. My daily routine is usually a little messy. I wake up late almost every day.
That's okay. Many people do. Let's start from the morning. What time do you usually wake up?
Um, Usually around 9 a.m., but sometimes 10 a.m. if I sleep very late.
All right. In English, you can say, I usually wake up at 9 a.m. The word usually is very useful.
Got it. I usually eat breakfast after I wake up, right?
Exactly. And you can also say sometimes or always, depending on how often you do something.
Sometimes I skip breakfast because I am too sleepy.
Perfect. You can say, I feel too sleepy or I am too sleepy. Both are correct.
I feel too sleepy, okay? Yes, sometimes I feel too sleepy to eat.
After waking up, what do you usually do?
I brush my teeth, wash my face, and sometimes check my phone.
Checking your phone first thing in the morning is very common. You can say, I check my phone first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning. Okay. I always scroll social media first thing in the morning.
That's natural, but it's healthier to drink water first.
Yes. Yes. I should drink water first. How do I say that naturally?
You can say, I drink a glass of water right after I wake up.
I drink a glass of water right after I wake up. Got it. Sounds healthy.
You can also say, I like to drink water first thing in the morning. It's very common. Now, breakfast time. What do you usually eat?
Usually cereal or eggs. Sometimes toast with jam.
Good. You can say, I usually have cereal for breakfast or I usually eat eggs for breakfast.
Oh, so have breakfast is also correct.
Yes. English speakers often say, have breakfast, have lunch, or have dinner. It sounds natural.
Okay. I usually have cereal for breakfast and sometimes toast with jam.
Perfect. You can also say, sometimes I like to have eggs for breakfast. Adding I like to sounds natural.
Sometimes I like to have eggs for breakfast. That sounds good.
Colon. If you want, you can also say, I usually have a light breakfast in the morning. Light breakfast means not too heavy or big.
I usually have a light breakfast in the morning. Got it. Sounds healthy.
After breakfast, do you go to work or school?
I go to work, but sometimes I work from home.
Great. You can say, I usually go to work, but sometimes I work from home.
Sometimes I work from home because I am lazy to go outside.
Maybe a softer way is, sometimes I work from home because I'm feeling lazy.
Sometimes I work from home because I'm feeling lazy.
How do you usually get to work?
I take the bus, but sometimes I walk if the weather is nice.
Very good. You can say, I usually take the bus, but sometimes I walk if the weather is nice.
I like walking when it is sunny.
Perfect. You can also say, I enjoy walking when it's sunny.
I enjoy walking when it's sunny. That sounds nice.
Another option is, I prefer walking when the weather is nice. Prefer is slightly more formal than like. At work, what's your typical day like?
I check emails, attend meetings, and do some reports. Sometimes I help colleagues too. Excellent. You can say, I usually check emails, attend meetings, and do some reports. Sometimes I help my colleagues too. Ah, yes, my colleagues. I sometimes forget small words like this. That's normal. Small words are tricky, but make your English sound natural. Okay, I will try to remember. What about lunch? Lunch is usually quick. I eat sandwiches or salad. Sometimes noodles if I'm in a hurry. Good. You can say, I usually have a quick lunch. I eat sandwiches or salad. I usually have a quick lunch. I eat sandwiches or salad. Got it. You can also add, I sometimes go out for lunch with colleagues. I sometimes go out for lunch with colleagues. Okay, that's nice. After lunch, what do you do in the afternoon? I continue work. Sometimes I take a short nap if I feel tired. Perfect. You can say, I take a short nap in the afternoon if I feel tired. I take a short nap in the afternoon if I feel tired. Sounds relaxing. Another way to say it is, I sometimes take a power nap. Power nap is a fun phrase for a short, refreshing nap. Do you usually have coffee or tea in the afternoon? Yes, I usually have coffee. Sometimes tea if I want something light. Good. You can say, I usually have coffee in the afternoon, sometimes tea. I usually have coffee in the afternoon, sometimes tea. Okay. You can also say, I like to have a cup of coffee to refresh myself in the afternoon. It sounds polite and natural. How about after work? What's your evening routine like? After work, I go home. Sometimes I cook dinner, sometimes I order food. You can say, I usually cook dinner at home, but sometimes I order food. I usually cook dinner at home, but sometimes I order food. Okay, colon. If you want more detail, you can say, I sometimes cook simple meals, like pasta or salad. Do you watch TV or do anything else in the evening? Yes, I watch TV. Sometimes I read a book. Sometimes I just scroll on my phone. You can say, in the evening, I usually watch TV or read a book. Sometimes I just scroll on my phone. In the evening, I usually watch TV or read a book. Sometimes I just scroll on my phone. Got it. You can also say, I like to relax in the evening after a busy day. And bedtime? Usually 11 p.m., but sometimes late if I am busy. You can say, I usually go to bed at 11 p.m., but sometimes later if I am busy. I usually go to bed at 11 p.m., but sometimes later if I am busy. Another way to describe bedtime is, I try to sleep early, but sometimes I stay up late watching TV. That was a full day. Let's quickly recap some useful phrases. I usually, sometimes, always, right after I wake up, first thing in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I enjoy, I like to, go to bed, have breakfast, lunch, dinner, quick lunch, if the weather is nice, prefer, power nap, relax, simple meals.
Let's talk about the weekend. How is your routine different on weekends?
Oh, weekends are completely different. I usually wake up later, sometimes even at noon.
Noon, that's really late. You can say, I usually wake up around noon on weekends. It sounds natural.
I usually wake up around noon on weekends. Yes, much better than early morning.
And after you wake up, do you have breakfast or brunch?
I usually have brunch, sometimes pancakes, sometimes eggs and toast.
Perfect. Brunch is a very common word in English. You can also say, I like to have brunch with friends sometimes.
I like to have brunch with friends sometimes. That sounds fun.
What do you do after brunch?
I sometimes go out for a walk in the park, or I just play video games at home.
Very good. You can say, I sometimes go for a walk in the park, or I sometimes stay home and play video games.
I sometimes go for a walk in the park, or stay home and play video games. Got it.
And if you meet friends, you can say, I like to hang out with my friends on weekends. Hang out is a casual phrase.
I like to hang out with my friends on weekends. Yes, very natural.
Do you usually do any chores on weekends?
Yes, I clean my room, do laundry, sometimes cook meals.
Excellent. You can say, I usually do chores on weekends. I clean my room, do laundry, and sometimes cook meals.
I usually do chores on weekends. I clean my room, do laundry, and sometimes cook meals. Perfect.
Another way to say it is, I sometimes help my family with house chores. Help my family sounds polite and natural. How about exercise? Do you work out?
Sometimes I go to the gym. Sometimes I just walk or run in the park.
Good. You can say, I sometimes go to the gym and sometimes I walk or run in the park. It shows variety in your routine.
I sometimes go to the gym and sometimes I walk or run in the park. Okay, I enjoy walking more.
Great. You can also say, I prefer walking because it's relaxing and free. Using prefer adds more meaning. Do you watch TV or movies on weekends?
Yes, I usually watch movies or Netflix series. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos.
Perfect. You can say, on weekends I usually watch movies or TV series. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos.
On weekends, I usually watch movies or TV series. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos. Sounds good.
You can also add, I like to relax and watch something fun in my free time. Free time is a useful phrase. And what about evenings on weekends?
I sometimes meet friends for dinner. Sometimes I cook at home.
Excellent. You can say, in the evening, I sometimes meet friends for dinner, or I cook at home.
In the evening, I sometimes meet friends for dinner or cook at home. Got it.
Another way is, I sometimes go out in the evening to eat or enjoy time with friends. Bedtime on weekends.
Usually later than weekdays, around 1 or 2 a.m.
That's very late. You can say, I usually go to bed around 1 or 2 a.m. on weekends.
I usually go to bed around 1 or 2 a.m. on weekends. Yes, very late.
You can also say, I sometimes stay up late watching movies or chatting with friends. It sounds very natural. Let's go back to weekdays for a moment. How do you usually start your workday?
I start with checking emails. Then I make a list of tasks for the day.
Great. You can say, I start my workday by checking emails. Then I make a to-do list. To-do list is a common English expression.
I start my workday by checking emails. Then I make a to-do list. Okay, sounds professional.
And you can add, I prioritize the important tasks first. Prioritize is a useful word for work English.
I prioritize the important tasks first. Got it.
How about meetings? Do you have them every day?
Not every day, but usually 2 or 3 times a week.
Perfect. You can say, I usually have meetings 2 or 3 times a week. Very natural.
I usually have meetings 2 or 3 times a week. Yes, clear.
And during meetings, you can say, I take notes and sometimes ask questions. Take notes is very common in English. Do you take breaks at work?
Yes, usually 2 short breaks. 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon.
Good. You can say, I usually take 2 short breaks at work, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon.
I usually take 2 short breaks at work, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Okay.
You can also say, during breaks, I sometimes have a snack or chat with colleagues. Very natural. Lunch at work.
Yes, usually a quick lunch. Sometimes sandwiches, sometimes noodles or salad.
You can also say, I usually have a quick lunch at my desk if I'm busy. That is very common.
I usually have a quick lunch at my desk if I'm busy. Sounds real.
Another natural sentence is, sometimes I eat with my colleagues in the cafeteria. Cafeteria is common for workplace English. Afternoon work? How do you stay focused?
Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I just focus on tasks.
You can say, in the afternoon, I sometimes listen to music while working. Sometimes I just focus on my tasks. Very natural.
In the afternoon, I sometimes listen to music while working. Sometimes I just focus on my tasks. Got it.
And another phrase is, I take short breaks to stay refreshed. Stay refreshed is polite and natural. After work, how do you usually relax?
I go home, sometimes exercise, sometimes watch TV or play games.
You can also say, I usually relax at home by exercising or watching TV. Relax at home by is a very useful structure.
I usually relax at home by exercising or watching TV. Okay, sounds natural.
Sometimes you can say, I cook a nice meal to relax after work. Cooking is also a relaxing activity. Evening activities?
I sometimes read a book, sometimes talk with family, sometimes just scroll phone.
Perfect. You can say, in the evening, I sometimes read a book, talk with family, or scroll on my phone.
In the evening, I sometimes read a book, talk with family, or scroll on my phone. Got it.
Another phrase is, I like to spend quality time with family in the evening. Quality time is common in English. Bedtime routine on weekdays.
Usually 11 p.m., sometimes later if work is busy.
You can say, I usually go to bed at 11 p.m., but sometimes later if I am busy with work.
I usually go to bed at 11 p.m., but sometimes later if I am busy with work. Okay.
You can also say, before bed, I like to read a book or listen to calm music. Very natural. Weekend mornings again. How is it different?
I wake up later, sometimes make pancakes, sometimes just eggs and toast.
You can also say, I like to have a slow and relaxing breakfast on weekends. Slow breakfast is a natural expression.
I like to have a slow and relaxing breakfast on weekends. Sounds very nice.
You can add, I sometimes enjoy coffee while reading the news. Very natural daily routine sentence. Weekend afternoons?
Sometimes I meet friends, sometimes stay home, sometimes go to park.
Perfect. You can say, I sometimes go out with friends, stay home, or visit the park. Very natural and casual.
I sometimes go out with friends, stay home, or visit the park. Got it.
Weekend evenings.
Sometimes dinner with family, sometimes meet friends, sometimes order food.
You can say, I sometimes have dinner with family, go out with friends, or order food at home. Very natural.
I sometimes have dinner with family, go out with friends, or order food at home. Perfect.
Bedtime on weekends.
Usually very late, around 1 or 2 a.m., sometimes watch movies until late.
You can also say, I usually stay up late on weekends, sometimes watching movies or chatting with friends. Very natural. That's a long day. Let's recap phrases we used. I usually, sometimes, always, right after I wake up. First thing in the morning, slow breakfast. In the afternoon, in the evening, I enjoy. I like to. Go to bed, have breakfast, lunch, dinner, quick lunch. If the weather is nice, prefer, power nap, relax, simple meals, quality time, stay up late, visit the park, hang out with friends.
That's a lot. I will practice all these phrases.
Yes, Jake, practice is the key to fluent English.
Thanks, Lisa. I learned many natural sentences today.
You're welcome. And thank you everyone for listening. Keep practicing and see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Keep learning English every day. Like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.